Okay. Can I
Okay.
get recording of previous class?
Yeah, you can ask your counselor. Everyone can get. See, if anyone is facing issues, you were there, but still you want to see recording, most welcome. Just ask your counselor, please share me the recording. Okay, it's not like that, that if you are coming for live classes and still you have any doubt, you can watch recordings. They are for you only. Okay. It's not for me that
Okay.
after this class I'll be watching that. Oh my god, this is how Saf was responding. Yeah, Saf, you can have a look. Definitely you should watch recording. There, then you will get to know how many times I called out your name. Okay.
Sorry, ma'am.
Not an issue. Maybe not the lecture part, but at least you will get the conclusion that how many times I called out your name. Right? Okay, not an issue. Okay, student. So, Dhruv, you left earlier. So, basically, what I told in the previous class, what is budget? Budget is basically the statement where you estimate the receipt and the government expenditure. Like, if I'm preparing a budget, I'll be saying that this much money I'll be getting. For example, I'm getting 500 rupees. Out of this, I'll be spending my money 100 rupees on cake, 100 rupees on, chips and cold drink, 100 rupees on dry fruits, like this. So basically, the budget is the statement which estimates. Estimates means I'm just assuming it. I'm just thinking that, yeah, this will happen, like things will be going like this. Okay. For what? For government receipt. What government will be getting and government will be expending when? During a fiscal year. Okay. And that will be from 1 March to 31st March of, for example, 1 March 2022 to 31st March 2023. Like this. Okay. Now coming to features of budget. First is basically this is the estimation, not the actual statement. For example, I told you will be spending 100 rupees on your cake. It's not possible. Maybe there the prices were 150, 200. There was no choice of you to purchase the cake of 100 rupees. So this is basically the estimation, not the actual statement. Okay. And it is always prepared annually, like for 1 year. It is not like month. It is not prepared on monthly basis. It is always prepared on annual basis. Okay. It is constitution requirement. In constitution, it is written that you have to present a budget. Okay. And where you have to present the budget in front of parliament, you have to present the budget. Okay. Okay, so sorry. Okay, so basically this is the it is the constitution requirement to present budget before the parliament. Okay, and revenue and expenditure are planned according to objective of the budget. Basically, if I'm preparing a budget for my birthday party, of course everything will be different. The food items will be different. Similarly, if I'm preparing a budget for my stationery, for my schoolwork, everything, the list, everything will be different, right? So budget impact the economy through aggregate fiscal discipline and resource allocation. So I have to do fiscal discipline. Fiscal means a year. So I have to plan throughoutly. I can, for example, you are getting 100 rupees and you cannot spend all the money in one go. Today itself you spend all the money. What you will do rest of the year? Okay, so you have to plan everything in such a way that you have to make sure that everything, whatever you are doing, that is going to impact the aggregate fiscal discipline and resource allocation. So these are the features of budget. Okay. Now the question is, these are the features. See, whenever you are preparing any assignment or something, basically I'll be asking you what your assignment will look like. I'll say add this, add that. Okay. If you are preparing your assignment or project, what will be the objective? Why you are preparing that? Because you want that 20 marks, right? You are preparing because this is the part of your school curriculum, or you will be getting marks after that. So basically now we will be studying what is the objective of budgets. Okay, so basically if a government is preparing budget, what are the objectives? Why government is why budget is being prepared? Okay, this is a whole story. You will be wondering, ma'am, this is so long and all that. This is the story. Okay, so don't feel like that too lengthy and all that. In paper, for example, you get what are the objectives of budget, and you are getting it is of 3 marks. So you can manipulate the points. But for example, there are chances where it is written, explain the problem of reallocation of resources. Okay, explain the objective of reallocation of resources. So you have to write everything because the explain word is there. But in case you get general, like write the objective of budget, you can manipulate, you can skip any point, like you can write according to your need. It's the, if there are 6 points, whatever you remember in the exam, you can write. Okay, depending on the marks and depending on the criteria of how the question is being asked. Okay, I hope I have made myself clear.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Great. Now, reallocation of resources. I hope everyone know what is reallocation, right? I gave you the example of a room and a kitchen that you got fridge. How you will do that? Right? So basically, reallocation of resources is basically reallocating everything, right? Reallocating means, see, there are two sectors, private and government. So what happened? Private enterprises always desire to allocate resources to those area production where profit are high. See, anyone is there who don't know the meaning of reallocation? I hope I introduced the word allocation. Right? Anyone who remembered that, or do you want me to repeat?
Ma'am, can you repeat?
Yeah, okay, I'll repeat. Basically, see, this is, there are 3 terms. One is re means again. Okay, so the re means again. Allocation is what basically allow and location. For example, this is my room. Okay, and this is my kitchen. I bought a refrigerator. Where I will put that refrigerator? Here, here, or here. Definitely, I'll be keeping that refrigerator in my kitchen, right? Because that is the need. Okay, in kitchen it is always placed. So basically, what I am doing, I am allocating. I am putting a particular thing in a place. Okay, for example, your mother came to you and your mother asked, "What do you want to eat?" So you like, for example, you are 3 brother and sister. So you said burger, your brother said pizza, your sister says ice cream. Okay, your mother prepared all the 3 items. Okay, so what she will do, basically she will coming to you and she will be giving you burger because you demanded for burger. Okay, but your mother will be coming to your brother, she will be offering pizza to him. Why? Because he demanded pizza. And similarly with your sister, this is allocating. Everything is being prepared, I am allocating it in proper place, right? For example, you are studying, you were studying in sofa. Okay, so your books were there. What you will do at the end of the day, you will take your books from there and you will be putting them in your study table, right? So this is what allocating. And reallocating is basically again and again reallocating. Earlier it was there and now you earlier you kept your fridge over there, like shifted it. Earlier it was here, now you kept it here. So you are reallocating it, right? I hope I have made myself clear. Locating is basically I'm locating. For example, fridge is always belongs to kitchen. Books, you cannot keep your books in kitchen, right? There is a place, there is a location for them. So this is what allocation means. And reallocation is means again relocating them. Clear everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Is
ma'am.
this clear with everyone? Okay, great. Now, basically, there are 2 types of people. One is private sector, okay, and one is government sector. Everyone know. Private is basically, they are more expensive, you know, there is no subsidies and nothing. But over government sector, it is run by government, okay. So what happened? Private enterprises always desire to allocate resources to those areas of production where profit are here. What happened? See, basically, the private sector always focus on profit maximization. I gave you the example of central bank and the commercial bank, right? So what was that? Central bank was totally under government. So the main motive of central bank was to do social welfare, to maximize the social welfare. But similarly, the commercial bank, their motive was to get profit. Why? Because there are two types of commercial bank, private as well as the government. You can say public. So basically, what happened? Private enterprises always, for example, just a minute. For example, what is this? These are the 2 economies. Here rich people live, here poor people live. Okay, what will happen? This private, I want to establish my shop. Where I will establish my shop? Because I'm a private owner, I will be establishing my shop over here because I want maximum profit. So this is what written here. Private enterprise always desire to allocate resources. They always locate their resources there where profit maximization is high, where there are high chances of profit making. Okay. However, it is possible that such area of production, like production of alcohol, may not promote social welfare. For example, see what happened whenever someone produce alcohol, heavy taxation is over there. So whoever is producing alcohol and all that, they get maximum profit. Okay, so maximum profit, what they are doing? So basically, see, if I am investing in alcohol, basically private people goes for maximization of profit and government always go for social welfare. So what will happen? This private sector will be focusing more on alcohol production. Why? That is giving them lots of profit. But they are not promoting social welfare. Alcohol is not good for social people, right? So through its budgetary policies, now what government is doing through its budgetary policy or through the budget, government of a country direct the allocation of resources in a manner such that there is a balance of goal of profit maximization and social welfare. Okay. So what happened? What you will write? First you will write private sector. You can skip this part. Okay. Second point, just it is not that much important. Okay, so what you will write? First, you will write private sector always allocate their resources where there is a profit maximization, where there is profit. Okay, but for example, everyone will construct their shop over here. So there will be no shop from where poor people will be purchasing, right? So therefore, government interferes. So what government do? Government allocate their resources in such a manner that there is a balance between profit maximization and social welfare. So what government will be doing? Government will be establishing two shops over here and two shops over here. Okay, so that there is a balance between what? Profit maximization as well as the social welfare. Okay, I hope I have made myself clear till here. Everyone?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
teacher.
Now, production of goods which is injurious to health like cigarette and whiskey are discouraged through heavy taxation. For example, there are two types of goods. One which are not good for social people, like people for public. So how government will stop that? What government do? Government put heavy taxation on them. For example, if you are producing alcohol, cigarettes and all that, what government will do? Government will put heavy taxation on them. If I have to pay, for example, I am producing cigarette and I have to pay 20 or 30% of tax. I will say, oh my God, there is no need to, I have to pay so much of tax over this. So I will skip that part. So how government discourage that? Government production of goods which are injurious to health is discouraged. Government discourage them through putting heavy taxation. Okay, on the other hand, production of socially useful goods like electricity, khadi is a type of cloth. Okay, is encouraged through subsidies. I hope I have made myself clear. There are two types of products. One which are injurious to health or they are social friendly, and one which are socially useful goods. So if you go, what government do? These the things which are not useful, which are injurious, government discourage them through heavy taxation, put heavy taxation on them. But how government promote these, encourage these type of goods who are useful for social, who are useful for public, by giving them subsidies. For example, there is electricity. So what government will do? Electricity is the basic need. So what government will do? Government will give subsidies to the poor people. Like if you are government is charging 100 rupees for the electricity, by giving subsidies, the charges will be like there will be a discount. So subsidy is basically a type of discount. It is not for everyone. It is basically for the poor people who cannot afford it. Okay, clear? I think I have made myself clear, right?
Yes, teacher.
Subsidies and tax. Why tax are put? So that government can discourage the people from producing injurious goods or which are not good for public. By giving subsidies, government encourage people to produce social friendly goods. Okay, if you want to encourage someone, you will give subsidies. But if you want to discourage someone, what you will do? You will put tax over that. Okay. Now, so finally, government has to relocate resources in accordance to social and economic consideration. In case of free market, you can skip this part also. Okay, this is not important. So I'm just explaining it again. See, if you want to, there are two types of students. One who feel like making, for them, learning in paragraph is quite easy. But there are two type of other people who, who are more engaging in points. They feel like, okay, if there are 5 points, it will be easy for me to learn. So if you feel like learning in points is easy, you can write in points. If you feel like learning in a paragraph is easy, you can write this in paragraph form. For me, being a, like when I was student, I used to feel like points are very much easy. For me, paragraph was tough. Okay, learning things in paragraphs. So what I used to do, I used to divide the paragraph in points, 1 point, 2 point, according to my need, because I have to learn that. So if you want to make in points, you can do. If you want to make it in paragraph, you can. Okay, I'm just explaining it again. What do you have to mention? First point, you have to mention that private sector is basically private enterprises always allocate their resources where they get maximum profit. Okay, so what happened? They are always putting things over there where they get maximum profit. So what government do? Government through making budget policy, what they do, they allocate their resources so that they can make a balance between who profit maximization and social welfare. Okay, so what happened? What government do? Production of goods which are injurious to health or who are not social friendly, government put heavy taxation on them so that production of such goods get discouraged. To discourage them, government put tax. Okay, but to encourage the socially useful goods, what government do? Government give subsidies. Okay, so go through subsidies, government encourage, and through taxation, government discourage the production. Clear, everyone? This is how I allocate my resource. Okay, clear?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, now you can write.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
I have to leave to like hospital now.
Who's this, Heba?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Heba. Is your father fine now?
He's still in hospital actually.
Okay, Heba, you can leave. What I'll do, you can watch recording.
Yes.
Okay, and if you face any issue, you can contact me on WhatsApp. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Please take care.
Excuse me, ma'am, we don't have to write the second point.
No, you don't need to write the second.
Okay.
First, third, fourth, and fifth.
Okay, ma'am, done.
Okay, others?
Done.
Okay. Okay, we'll just start with next. Okay. Yeah. So the second problem is basically reducing inequalities in income and wealth. Okay. Okay. Now what happened? Basically, see, the rich people have more income, right? And the poor people have less income. Why? Because of course, rich people are getting more salaries and poor people are getting less salaries. That's why there is a difference, right? Inequality between income and wealth. Of course, if my income is low, my wealth will be definitely low, right? In the same case, rich poor have high income, so their wealth is always high. But poor people have low income, their wealth is always low. Okay, so basically government budget is always prepared so that they can reduce the inequalities. Like there is inequality between rich poor people and the poor people, comparison of their wealth. Okay, so what is the objective of budget? They want to reduce this inequality. That's why. Okay. So what happened? A government uses fiscal instrument of taxation and subsidies with a view of improving the distribution of income and wealth in the economy. So government used two things, taxation and subsidies, to reduce the difference like the inequalities. Now how government is using these instruments? See here we said through this taxation and subsidies government was allocating Okay, on which are not social friendly goods, government was imposing tax, and the product which are social friendly, usable, government was giving subsidies. But here, how government will be using these two instruments to for reducing inequality? So government reduces the inequality in distribution of income and wealth by imposing tax on rich and giving subsidies to poor, or spending more on welfare. So what government do? There are two type of people, rich and poor. What government do? Government impose tax on rich people, but government gives subsidies to poor people. This is how government tries to reduce the inequality. For example, let's take an example. It's just an example. Okay, for example, rich people are getting 100 rupees. Okay, and the poor people are getting 50 rupees. So what government will do? Government say, please give 50 rupees as a tax. Okay, and to maybe 30 rupees to tax. Okay, taxation they have to give. Now how much money is left? 70 rupees are left with them. And what government will do to poor people? They'll give them 20 rupees extra. So now what will happen? These people have 70 rupees plus poor people have also 70 rupees. Getting my point? Through taxation, government take their power, take their money. But through subsidies, government give them money. Right? Not money. It's not like the government will say, come here and I'll give you 100 rupees. No. Basically what happens, for example, the prices of one product is 10 rupees. So if rich person is purchasing, it will be of 10 rupees. But if poor person is purchasing that, it will be for 5 rupees. This is a subsidy. Basically reducing the price, okay, of any product, that is subsidy. So what government do? Government reduce inequality by distributing income and wealth, by imposing tax on rich people, and by giving subsidies to the poor people. Okay. So what happened? It reduced income of rich people by raising the living standard of poor, thus leads to equitable distribution. So what government is doing? Government reduces income of rich and raises the standard of poor people. So there is an equitable. How government is raising the equality? For example, AC is a luxurious thing, right? AC is for example, 100 rupees. So rich people will be purchasing it for 100 rupees. For poor, it will be for 50 rupees. So basically, the standard will be maintained. Now poor can also purchase AC. Rich are already purchasing, but poor can also purchase AC. So basically, there is a balance, right? So what happened? Expenditure on special anti-poverty and employment scheme will increase by bringing how people above the poverty. You say expenditure on employment scheme. Employment scheme, like government focuses on spending the money on this employment scheme, so that people who are below poverty line, who are poor, they can get employment. For example, I am poor. I'm doing nothing. Why I am poor? Because I don't have job. I don't have employment. What government did? Government introduced so many job opportunities for me. So I was able to get a job, and I started earning. Now I am rich. Why? Because I am earning. Right. So earlier I was below poverty line because I was not earning. Now I am earning, so I'm above the poverty line. Okay. And public distribution should be enforced, so that finally. Just remove those two people. Till here you have to write. Okay. Everyone got it? I'm just re-explaining it. Okay. Basically, what happened? Government uses fiscal instrument. Fiscal instrument is basically the budgetary policy of taxation and subsidies. Why they are using, for example, to improve the distribution of income and wealth in an economy. So what happened? Government reduces inequality by distributing income and wealth, by imposing tax on rich people, and by giving subsidies to poor people. Okay, so what happened? It reduces income of rich people and raises the living standard of poor people. Thus, there is equity. For example, I am reducing the money of this rich people, and I am giving subsidies to poor people, so they can also afford the same thing. Right. So, of course, there will be an equitable distribution of income. And expenditure is always government expenditure on employment scheme, so that people who are living below the poverty line, they can come out. Why I am poor? Because I am not earning. Right. Once I'll get an employment, I'll get a job, I'll start earning, and I will not be a poor anymore. Right. So this is what government do. Government spend most of the money in generating employment schemes. Because of that, so that lots of people can get employment, and they can bring more people above poverty line. This is for example, this is the poverty line. For example, 100 rupees is poverty line. So people who will be earning more than 100, they will be rich. People who will be earning less than 100, they will be poor. So for example, I'm earning 0 rupees because I don't have any job. And once I got job, I got 200 rupees. So basically, I came above the poverty line through this employment scheme. Okay? I hope it's clear.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, now you can write.
Excuse me, teacher. We are only supposed to write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Done.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So quickly we'll be moving to next. These are the like not that much long. Okay, last 2 points. Okay. Okay. So next point is growth and development of economy. Basically, why I am making budget, because I want to grow and I want to develop the economy. That's why I am doing that. Okay. So government make provision in the government budget to spend the technology, health, infrastructure, and it will develop the economy and will increase the real GDP of the nation, which will lead to growth of economy. So what happened? Government make its budget so that why I am making budget. See, for example, I want to get good marks. Okay. So for example, I got 100 rupees. Okay. For example, I want to get good marks. Out of 100 rupees, what I'll do, I will expend most of my money in my study material, right? I will purchasing books, I'll be purchasing notes like this. And very few amount of money I'll be, spending in parties, eating and all that. Okay. So similarly, what government do, government make provisions in the budget, government budget, such a way that they spend more money in technology, health and infrastructure, so that if these 3 sectors are working very good, so what will happen, the development of will happen of economy, and it will increase real GDP of the nation, which will lead to growth of economy. For example, if government will be focusing on restaurant, clubs and all that, of course they won't be creating, they won't be helping the economy to develop. But of course government will be investing in technological field, health field, infrastructure field, education field. Infrastructure is basically building new like construction and all that. Okay, so building schools, colleges like this. Okay, make building hospitals, all this infrastructure comes under that. Building, constructing schools, constructing medical colleges, non-medical colleges, constructing hospital, all this come under infrastructure. So government make government budget in such a way that more of the money is spent in this sector. If more of the money is spent in this sector, what will happen? It will help our economy to develop. And if once our economy is developing, we will increase the real GDP. Okay. Now you will be wondering, ma'am, what is GDP? Don't worry, when we will be doing national income chapter, I will explain it. Just remember, GDP is basically your income. Okay, GDP is gross domestic production. Your production level will be increased. Okay, of whom? Nation. And because of that, the growth will be there. For example, you invested 80 rupees in your books. You bought books. Okay, 80 rupees books, like you bought 3 books. You studied that. Okay, you invested your money in economics book, accountancy book, and business book. Okay, and when you did, of course, what increased? Your knowledge increased. Right, your knowledge increased. In the similar way, you develop. Economy developed. How economy developed? Because its real GDP increased. You developed. How you developed? Because your knowledge increased, right? And because of that, your growth took place. Earlier, you were getting 80 marks out of 100. Now you are getting 95 out of 100. So basically, you grow. Your growth is there. So similarly with economy, earlier there was no increment. But when I focus on these sectors, I invested more money in these sectors. There was a development in economy. How came you know that? How come you know that? Basically, the real GDP increased, and because of that, there is a growth in economy. Okay. And now operation of public sector. Public sector is basically the government sector. Okay, and private sector is basically the one who is owned and governed by some private institution. So government budget is prepared with the objective of making various provinces for management and operation of public sector. Financial assistance is also provided as sector will create social welfare and economy. Now you must be wondering, ma'am, what is this? Basically, what happened? There are government hospitals. Okay, there are government school, government colleges like this. So what government do? Government financially assistant. Assistant is basically, if you are not getting assistant, but assistant is, see, you know, you say, this is your personal assistant. Everyone know?
Yes.
What
Yes, ma'am.
assistant do? Assistant is basically someone who will be helping me. That is assistant. This is assistance. Assistance is basically helping. So what government do? Government financially help these sector, the public sector, the government sector, by giving them financial. For example, I want to, in government schools, what happened? Most of this, there is a free education, right? So how the government will be running that? Of course, there is a funding from government. right? Government fund over there. In most of the government hospital, there is free medical checkup and everything. From where they are getting this money? Government is financially helping them. Okay, and why government is helping them? Because they want to create social welfare in the economy. That's why government is helping them. Government is funding them. Okay. So what you will write? Government budget is prepared with the objective of making various provisions for the management and operation of public sector. How to manage them, how they will operate, how they will work. Everything is prepared in government budget. And what happened? Financial help is given to these sector. Why they are giving financial help? Just to create social welfare in the economy. They are giving them, financial help. I hope I have made myself clear.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you
Yes,
can
ma'am.
write. Students, once you are done, you can let me know. Okay.
Done, ma'am.
Okay. So, Khushi, if you are done, you can leave. Okay. Those who are completing, they can leave. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Mariam, you can. Okay. Welcome. Bye bye. Take care. Tomorrow also we will be having class. Yeah, I have to just ask you few things. I hope after your accounts class everyone is available.
Ma'am, I might not be available.
Who is this? Adib.
Dhruv, ma'am.
Dhruv.
Dhruv,
Oh.
ma'am.
So before that,
Before that, maybe, ma'am. Not sure.
so just let me know when you are available because I have to complete this budget chapter and definitely I'll give you off in previous like whatever. I'll not be torturing you that much. But yeah, actually, I need to complete this chapter in this week itself. So I want I took you one extra class yesterday, right? So tomorrow also I'm planning, and after that I'll be done. 2 more classes, then I'll be done. So if it's possible, Dhruv, are you available before that, after accounts class? Before, sorry.
Before a year, maybe.
Others, are you available before the accounts class, like before your accounts class? Yes, no, maybe.
Okay, teacher, no problem.
Okay, Mariam is available. Khushi, Dhruv, Amos is available. Mohammed,
Yes, ma'am. I will
Adib.
Ma'am, yeah, I'm available.
Okay, Adib, what about you?
Yeah, ma'am. I'll be available.
Okay, only I guess Seth and Heba, they have their exams, so definitely they have to be available like somehow. So okay, I'll be keeping your class before your accountancy. That means your class will be at 4:30, right? Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I'll be arranging that. So everyone kindly join that. We'll be completing today, like tomorrow and day after tomorrow we'll be completing.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, then see ya.